Hello, you guys. Are we live?
Hi. Yes, we
Hi.
are. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We
I'm gonna
good.
start looking
Excited.
for
Um,
I can't even see my.
Sorry, go ahead.
there.
Okay. All right. It looks like we do have a couple of guys that have joined us so far. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Um, Very excited to have you guys here. Very excited to just get started and kickstart this conversation. It's something that we've been planning for the last couple of weeks now. And Sharon and Patricia have been part of it. So very excited to have you guys on board. I'm thinking before we just start, I'll do a quick intro on Sendy, and then we can jump into the questions. But before that, Patricia, Sharon, one question,
Wait,
right?
Edna, you haven't
Yes,
introduced yourself.
yes.
I was waiting.
Oh my gosh, thank
You
you.
jumped in because you're like, yeah,
I'm
girl.
so used to
Yeah.
it. I'm so used to it, I just go for it. Okay, thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Edna Maritim. I'm representing Sendy Fulfillment. Yeah, and like I said, very excited to have you guys on board and just to join, this conversation. Thank you, Sharon, for that. I had completely spaced, so thanks. um, cool. So, just a quick icebreaker. If we were to see one thing that you guys have both bought, right, this year that you absolutely love, what would that thing be, and where did you buy it from? Wow, I like how both of you turned to the right at the same time.
I'll go. It's not next to me, but the first thing
Okay.
that came to mind were these two
Mm-hmm.
dresses that I got from Hekaya that I really, really love. Like I'm
I think.
obsessed.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Hekaya, the fashion
Yes,
brand, right?
yeah. Two
Yeah.
dresses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Two
right.
beautiful linen dresses I'm obsessed with.
Okay. Patricia is like looking behind. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm trying to. If I narrow it down, oh, maybe stationery from Kulula, the
Mm-hmm.
Kenyan brand. So she's an artist. She does illustrations, and then she has sort of expanded her work. So you can get postcards, you can get daily planners, you can get notebooks, you can get plain books where you can use them to paint in them. Like she just has Kulula. Yes, stationery from Kulula.
Cool. Okay. All right. Cool. Um, I know I said one question, but let me just ask another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you had to delete all but 3 applications on your phone, which 3 apps would you keep?
Does WhatsApp count?
Yeah, WhatsApp counts. WhatsApp counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I would say WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and maybe YouTube. Because I just think communicate with my people and this is my work. I
Mm-hmm.
can't sacrifice YouTube or Instagram. Like I gotta make money. So I
Yeah,
think
I
those are
think
my three.
Okay. So WhatsApp, Instagram, and YouTube.
for me, same thing. Except I would say I would delete everything but WhatsApp, FaceTime, and Instagram.
WhatsApp, FaceTime,
Yeah, I
Instagram.
think those are the ones.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So I think we can get started. Welcome once again, everyone, for the guys who've just joined. So My name is Edna from Sendy, and I just wanted to do a quick intro, and then we can jump into the session. So basically, I know many people have seen Sendy, or have seen the bikes that are, driving around Nairobi, written Sendy on them. A lot of the time, people will think, oh yeah, Sendy, the delivery guys. That's the one thing that comes to mind. And just because I wanted to be able to make an association, that's why I highlighted that. But basically what Sendy does is we try and bring e-commerce and consumer brands together so that they're able to get their products to their customers. So think about from a manufacturer to a distributor, from a distributor to a store, and then a store delivering now to you. So we are the team that works, behind the scenes to get your logistics going. We launched Sendy Fulfillment, which we'll talk about a bit later, last year. And basically, it's a service that allows businesses to pick, pack, and ship their orders across Nairobi to their customers. So if you're thinking about starting a business, or if you do run a business, this is the place for you to be. And we just wanted to try and also shed light on some of the challenges, some of the questions that businesses have been having when branding them online, specifically on social media. So I know you've seen a lot of content from Sharon and Patricia. Some of you have sent questions as well, asking about, what content do I create? How do I build my brand online? How do I increase my sales online? And that's one of the things. Those are just a couple of the things that we're going to be talking about today. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Patricia, Sharon, you guys want to say hi really quickly, and then we can jump into questions, yeah?
Oh, am I to you're to my this side? That's where you are. Okay, I'll start. Hello, everyone. I'm Sharon Mundia, and for the last 10 years, I have been creating content. I have had to kind of shift with the time. So when I started, it was like blog focused, but over the last 10 years, a lot has changed. Instagram wasn't there, maybe it was. Was it there? I can't remember if it was or not. I'm not sure. If it was, I probably joined the first year I started my blog. It was relatively new. I think that's what happened. And it's now shifted to the point where this is what I do full time. I create content on Instagram and YouTube primarily. I decided to focus on two and give it my all. And I'm here excited to talk about what I've learned over the last decade when it comes to content creation strategies.
All right, cool.
I'll add one more thing. I'll add one more thing that soon, and I guess you guys will see if you follow us on Chasing Paper Books, but soon, Patricia and I will probably be your clients very soon, Edna. So this is also like an exciting step for us to try and step into the entrepreneurial space and like dealing with the logistics of deliveries and fulfillment and like all of that. Yeah, over to you, Patricia.
Good evening, viewers.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, viewers. I'm Patricia Kihoro, and I am I'm an entertainer. So over the years, I have been in the entertainment space, started singing publicly when I was 9 years old, and then transitioned into acting. Well, not transition, but I also then got into acting, got into content creation, hosting, emceeing, improv comedy, and now content creation. And content creation is something that I also kind of just fell into. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of these platforms were just spaces for me to express myself. High Five, MySpace, Tumblr, I was on all of them, Pinterest. And with time, just, growing numbers and sharing and expressing as I continue to do based on the work that I did as an actress, singer, radio presenter, I found myself also in the world of content creation and being an influencer. And so for me as well, it's just been years and years of growing and learning in this space, finding yourself in a space where it's like, oh, okay, cool. So I guess I do this well. Let me see how I can sort of take what I know, what I'm learning, and use it as a tool to also start earning a living. And so it's been years now, an entrepreneur as well. You may know Uncover Skincare, which is something that I'm a part of that team as well. So skincare as well. And I know we've worked with Sendy on that regard. And yeah, very soon, you know, entrepreneur with my girl here, my C's, with Chasing Paper Books, which is a book club that we host. And so above all else, I'm also a customer. I'm a customer who purchases from online stores, from brick and mortar stores, from, you know, so many brands. And so I'm here in the capacity of a customer, somebody who enjoys purchasing from small businesses or online businesses, somebody who enjoys working with small businesses, creating content with, collaborating with, and, you know, in my own strength as a content creator, we're here to sort of share what we've learned, what we know, and also hopefully learn from you guys as well as we delve into that entrepreneurship space. Wow, was that 2 minutes, 5, 10? Thank you. Yes.
No. Thanks. Question: are we allowed to ask this entrepreneurship journey? Are we allowed to ask what the products would be, or is that a surprise for later?
Yeah. It's a secret. It's a
surprise. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So both of you have kind of touched on how you've been able to grow your brands, right, over the last couple of years. From content creation, from the different interests that you both have. Now, when it comes to looking at some of your favorite brands in Kenya, what are those brands? And why would you say those are some of your favorite brands, right? Is it around the content they create? Is it around the experience they give you? If it's around the content or the marketing, what exactly, you know, is of interest to you or keeps you hooked all the time that you're, you know, looking at them constantly?
Okay, next time I'm going to do this first, and you'll know it's you. Some of my favorite brands. You know, actually, to be honest, Edna, I made a conscious decision a few months ago to unfollow a lot of brands online because I found myself buying things that I had not budgeted for, and my wallet was like, no. That's cute. We're not here for this, girl. No, go back. So I unfollowed a lot of the brands that I was following. Although, to be honest, majority of them, if not all, were Kenyan brands. So like Shop New Level, Hekaya, Vivo, Shop Zetu, brands like those. So I don't follow a lot of them, and now it means that if I want to purchase, it's an intentional move, and I go to their pages. But some of my favorites are, I really do like Hekaya, and I think it's because they really do a good job of responding when I need something, when I'm asking questions, when I need, when I'm unsure about sizing, they'll just kind of guide me through the whole process, and it usually takes like a matter of hours. So I've been in a situation where I needed a dress for like 3 p.m., placed an order in the morning, and it was there. Oh, but it's so hard. Like, but there's also some really good home decor brands as well. There's some really beautiful home decor brands as well. I love Tira Studio. A lot of my furniture at home is from Tira Studio.
Take notes.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, I right now, Ikweta. All my sandals are Ikweta. Everything in my like shoe wear. If it's not sneakers, it's Ikweta. I love them. To the point that I'll even be like, can you guys custom make this shoe? And I just wanted to like lace up all the way. And then if I could just have it like soft leather, not too hot, like amazing. Yeah. So those are 3 brands that I'd shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I was just looking around to be like, guys, 3. Sued watches. I love Sued watches. This was This was actually the first watch she ever made. So I'm like,
Oh, wow.
to have the first watch that she ever made. She gave it to me back in, I think, 2016 or 2017. And so it, like, I have such a soft spot for Sue of Sued watches. I have another watch which is black, all black. Sued watches, one of my favorite, and I swear it's been years and it still looks as good as new. I would say Endo Squared. The Endo sisters are super talented, and I think pretty much, it's just now their rings and their new earrings that I don't have, but their totes I have, their t-shirts I have, their postcards I have, earrings I have. Who else can I say? I love Vivo, Shop Zetu. I'm wearing Shop Zetu right now. I've got Kipato Unbranded, who I'm wearing as well. Is Masai Accents. If you notice, this is a Masai, like a necklace that they put on the fabric. Yeah. Nimevaa chini pia nimevaa Vivo ni Shop Set. Yeah. My sandals are, I've got Equator, but also Sip Dada, who same thing like Sharon. I'll just be like, can you customize this? I think I have maybe 15 pairs. I have too many pairs from them, but Sip Dada as well. Local, Lokol. There's 2 dress shirts that I got from them that I wear. I have to stop myself from wearing them because I love them so much. You know the 2 that I'm talking about. I want to buy more. I mean, I could go on and on. Kulula with their stationery, Lulu Kitololo for her stationery as well, Esimosa for her masks and her, like, I could go on and on and on. Artists, Mutua Madeka with his Sokonune t-shirts and his prints on his t-shirts, his prints as well on my wall. Nice endelea. Peperuka. Okay, guys, stop.
Okay, all right. I think maybe let's drop a list, yeah, and we can share it with everyone. Cool. So when it comes to like the social media part of it, the marketing, some of the strategies that they use, the way they create content. If you are to think of a brand that comes first in mind that you admire, what would that be? One that specifically looks at, okay, there we go. All right, Patricia, you've been nominated.
Oh, like a brand I respect? I mean,
yeah, from their social media. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, like I really love and respect them. Nancy Moy as well with New Level. I think when it comes to especially content and, running a page and creating products, because I feel like number one, the thing that I love about them is the products. The products are solid. They're amazing. They're great quality. So from the product, like Sharon said, somebody like Nancy Moy with her Shop New Level, you will buy. You will buy. You will not be able to stop yourself. She makes you feel like, I need this. And the thing about...
Can I say something to that, Patricia? There's a time she was dropping things like every week, and I had bought things every week. I had to text her and be like, babe, what are you dropping for the next month? Because I can't keep buying every week, because I'm like, take that one before it was a lot. I was like, I'm spending all my money. Yeah.
It's crazy. Also Icon, for instance, and I know we're talking about fashion brands, but even Icon and the way that she's constantly churning out content to support the products and the clothes that she creates, and the fact that I can also I can bump into an aunt of mine and see, you're wearing New Level, or be like, oh, I think you'd love this from Icon, so I feel like their pieces are also timeless, and the fact that they also wear their pieces so that they can show you how their pieces move, how it looks on different body sizes. Sued as well, the way she does her content, and she's kind of also transitioned into giving advice to businesses. I think, because her watches are stunning masterpieces, and her transition into realizing that she's an expert in her field, and sharing tips around her business, around what goes into the business, creating. I just love the way they come at their content. It's not just buy. It's also like, look how beautiful these pieces are. I've put my heart and soul into it, and I think that I want you to wear it because you deserve embrace tough. Yes.
So the concept of them trying to build a brand and show value of the product away from just buy. This is what's in season right now. Okay, all right. So for you as a customer, and maybe now I think you could speak to both of your experiences. As a customer, if you're scrolling on Instagram, like you've mentioned, Sharon, you had to stop following people because you just see the ads and you just be buying. So what gets you to that purchase? So yes, there's the way they create the content. But what makes you be like, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to buy this and I'm going to keep coming to this brand because of
ABC. Yeah. So if it's a new brand, if you know how sometimes Instagram can have like an ad show up in the middle of your feed. So if it's a new brand, I will go to their page. I'll look at the number of followers they have, look at how recent their posts are, try and see their comments. Like I'll try and examine a little bit more about the brand. Like, are they responding to other people's comments? I'll then try and message them in the DM, and their response matters too. So if the response is like curt, or if there's lots of mistakes in spelling, or like if there's a way that they treat themselves that doesn't seem like they've taken time to kind of respectfully show up for their customers, I'll probably not continue the conversation. But if it's a brand that I have seen and purchased from before, what makes me go back is, one, I know their quality. I trust that what they've put on there is what I will receive. I am familiar with their sizing, if it's in the fashion world. Their price is one of the things that matters to me. And then also what the process of getting the item to me looks like. Like, how is it like a quick turnaround? Will I be going back and forth about like, do I pay before or after? And I think a lot of times, even in speaking right now, I'm assuming that the purchase is happening on Instagram, because a lot of times that's where people go, even if they do have a website. And I appreciate brands that also, have a little bit of wiggle room there, because I'm sure it's double the work. But, if they do have an e-commerce site, but it's just, how do I feel after my interaction? Do I feel valued? Do I feel like my money is actually like, it means something? Or am I just another, wheel in the cart, like another, you're just like a means to an end? Doesn't matter. If you're not buying it, someone else will buy it. And I think it matters. Yeah.
And I think if I can add on to what Sharon said about, a page and what keeps me going back. One, I really, like, before I send you a DM to ask a question, I'll make sure I've found out as much as possible from the page, right? Because I don't want to ask you a question that I could have found the answer maybe in the caption of a post or in your highlights. So if it's a new account, if it's a new brand, if it's a new company, I usually try and see and find as much information as I can. So all the things that Sharon touched on in terms of whether a product is in stock, is it sold out, what the sizing looks like, what the pricing is, what delivery is, payment terms, how long delivery will take. I'll try as much as possible to see if I can find all that information. Then I also check to see if they allow comments, because people usually, if a page has disabled comments, that's a red flag. Red flag. Like, and for a lot of people, that's because they've probably disabled the comments because there's a lot of complaints coming in. And then 3, DM for price. If I see DM for price, instantly I'm just like, unless it's something that's custom, unless it's something that, furniture store, like, let's say, for example, Tira Studio, if they have, some stuff that is already made, like it's standard, this is what it looks like, this is the size and everything, they'll put the price there and they'll say, this is how much it is. But if there's something which was custom made for somebody, and so the measurements matter, the type of wood that you would select matters, the color, like different, if it's bespoke, then it makes sense when they say DM for price because it means that there's some questions they need to ask you before they can figure out what the pricing will look like. But others, it just looks like they're profiling. So depending on what the product is, DM for price puts me and a lot of people off because you're just lengthening the time it'll take for me to get this thing that I want. So by
or
the time,
taking advantage of you.
or taking advantage, yes, that's another, or taking advantage, because you'll find that they'll give one person a different price and then another one a different price because they're kind of just profiling. So those are, I guess I would say, the top 3 things that I would look out for. And what gets me to come back is just the quality of the item. And if I love it, I'll keep going back. I'll just keep going back because I'm guaranteed that I'm going to love it.
So running ads isn't the only thing. I mean, it's one thing, of course, definitely. Looking at the quality of the item is another, but the experiences that you have as you're shopping or your customers have as you're shopping is important. So, okay. I think there's some questions that you guys also got. Do you want to go through some of them now? Yeah.
So yeah, okay. I think we had sort of put together just like some information that we wanted to share that is just our basics when it comes to communication strategy for businesses. And you know, we ni kama curriculum, ni kama course. So we kind of just put that together, and then after that we can sort of address. So, Madam Sharon, question 1: why? Why? Okay, Sharon can explain how we sort of broke it down, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and we're going to try and like speed through it so that we can also answer questions that are coming in or that you have, Edna, but some of them we also did address in this next part. But we wanted to touch on why be on social media, why does it matter, how to go about building your brand online and, you know, garnering engagement, people, because that's a big part of social media and creating that community, and if you need help and partnerships, tools that we use regularly that have really come through for us, and then finish it up with like do's and don'ts, like the things that you just do not want to get into. So why? Like, what is your why? And I think at the core of anything that you do in life, I think it's important to start with like your why, because it feeds into everything else. And one of the questions, like we got a bunch of questions, and some of them were like, oh, I want to start a Costa's line. Where do I start with social media? So I think it's why. What is your intention? And I'm looking to the left because I've got all my notes here. But why does it matter to you to have an online presence? And if you think about it now, and given the pandemic, I think it is integral that we have some digital presence, because you think, you know, brick and mortar matters, and I think it's great to have like offline strategies too, but this is such a quick and easy and like real-time way of connecting with your customers, of putting your product out there, of engaging with them, of trying to build your community and make sure that your why translates into the conversations that you're having, the posts that you're putting up, the partnerships that you're going for. But it's so important to have a clear reason why social media matters, or why you're doing what you're doing, and how does social media play into that. I know, Patricia, you had some things you wanted to add to that too.
Yeah. So everything Sharon said, your why has to be very clear. And there's businesses that are purely online, like they run their business just online with an Instagram page or your Twitter page or Facebook. And then there's others that use social media as an addition to the brick and mortar space, right? So either or, I think the why has to be clear. And for me, I think the important thing with having an Instagram page or a Twitter page or whatever platform that you choose is, one, to showcase the items that you are selling. So you want people to see, right? So if somebody can't make it to your store, for instance, you're using whatever platform to show people the products that you have. You're using the platform to share information about these products that you have. And the information could be anything around pricing, stock, sizing, ingredients, what, like if it's something that is scent based, the notes. So it's basically to describe the product so that people get as much of an understanding of the product that you are selling. And then 3, to answer any inquiries that your potential clients could have. And ideally, these inquiries should be answered by the content that they find on your page first. So that anything else, it's just, okay, maybe they were just asking, hey, you know, I have, if you're selling skincare products, for instance, I have a skin condition. Will this product work for me? Will it be okay? So that's what your platform, I think, is for. And it's mostly information. People want to learn about you, your product, and how to get it. What is the content for? Because I know we're going to come to the how, but under the why, for me, that was the reason for the page. But the content and the why of the content, there could be many reasons. People might know that a candle is to make the house smell nice, right? So the content could be to make people feel something, to evoke an emotion, right? There's so many companies that are candles, but why will people come back to yours, right? Is it a connection with the is it the packaging that looks great? Is it the aesthetic of the page? For some people, they'll purchase something because the page looks beautiful and the content is great. Is it to showcase how your clients are using your product? Is it to showcase the reviews? Is it for people to come and see what they can feel like or what they can look like when they purchase your makeup? So the content itself now will answer more questions around, if I buy that makeup palette and then I do makeup the way Sharon taught me, I'm going to look like that. So the page, the content, they all have their specific reasons, and the why should be clear.
Yeah. And to add on to that, before we even move to the next, I think it's also so important that whatever online strategies you have and whatever voice you hold and your why translates offline too. So if you're very dreamy and visual, so in your packaging, like the conversations that you're having online, when you then bring them offline and you're delivering this item to someone, what does that packaging look like? How do they feel when they get it? What, is it like funky and cool, or is it like more dreamy and romantic? Is it sleek and sophisticated? Have you thrown in some like dried flowers in there because that's what you want to evoke? That emotion that you evoked on social media is also there offline as well. And so it's so important to try and create a seamless feel, vibe, ethos, why. But also moving on to now, how, right? And all the million platforms that there are. So let's go around naming the platforms that we know. Okay, I'll start. Instagram.
Twitter.
Okay.
TikTok.
Facebook.
YouTube.
What's up?
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Ni kama zimeisha.
We've done good. We've done good, guys. We've done good. So it's clear there's like lots of platforms, right? And I think in the space that we're in, it's so easy to feel the pressure, right? Like everyone's moving to TikTok. Good, let's go to TikTok. Yes, yes, yes. And yet you're like selling life insurance policies. And it's like, oh, maybe actually that is the place, or maybe it's not the place. Yeah.
Additions here, Pinterest and Telegram, which we missed, but those are
Pinterest. That's such an guys. Snapchat. That's true, actually. Yeah.
Still on.
Oh gosh. Well, okay, we'd have filled that one. But yeah, so it's so easy to kind of move with the flow. And listen, I was one of those people. Like when TikTok came out, I was like, right, join TikTok. And then I realized like I don't know if that is the best place for me to create, to tell my story, to connect. And perhaps, or maybe it is, and the way I was doing it was wrong. Because at the time TikTok was like, pop, lock, and drop it. Dance, dance, next move, boom. Let me tell you, if I had to pop, lock, and drop to do anything online, numbers would be down. It would be like, this is not the show.
OnlyFans, and that would kill it. And you know what? OnlyFans for certain content creators is also quite profitable. Great platform to market your wares.
You know, maybe, perhaps. I've heard other things about OnlyFans, but maybe, maybe it's the place.
I think it depends. Yeah, you're right. It depends on what they're trying to
exactly.
market as
Yeah.
well.
So for instance, it may be easy for me to sit here and be like, oh guys, like Facebook is so dead. No one does anything on Facebook. But if you're selling chicken for 450 bob and there's a group with I don't know, mothers, and they're like constantly talking about like, oh, this is what I'm doing tonight and this is what I'm doing tomorrow, blah blah blah, like with a very heavy family oriented focus, then that's where you want to slip into the group and be like, by the way, my chicken, 1.5 kilos, 400 bob, I deliver for free. Who needs this? So you just have to evaluate what is the perfect platform for you, because it's so important.
And a brand, just, letting you guys know. It's seamless, it's consistent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God. So
But
anyway, yeah.
Touch on just to add to it, it's also important to recognize that all these different platforms have different voices and tones of voice that you can employ, right? So the content that you create for Instagram, for instance, Twitter is a different kind of audience. It's a different kind of voice and persona that you would kind of have on there, because the conversations that go on there, one, it's not necessarily a heavy image based platform. So it's all about conversations. But there are vendors, there are sellers who have used Twitter to their advantage because that's the platform that works for them and they're able to interact with clients on that platform. But when it comes to Instagram, you'll find that the tone is so different, because Instagram, it's less like choppy like this, it's less, it's more Instagram. People take more time to interact with your content. They look at your picture, they'll watch your video, so you also have to understand that different platforms have a different audience and a different voice. And so that Sharon said, Mimi nilinjaribu TikTok. I went to TikTok and honestly, I almost broke like 5 bones trying to create a TikTok video. And I just realized,
that ain't for you, honey. So we missed it. We just missed it, babe. We were so close. We'd have been popping on TikTok.
But I'll try.
No, but I also think like the good with, I think a place like TikTok, it's also, if you are able to figure out a different way to have a conversation on there, maybe, and this is another part in the how are you then using these platforms? So are you using it to educate? Because I've seen a lot of doctors on TikTok. You would think TikTok is the last place to be there, but I've seen lots of doctors coming in and being like, listen, all you people all you people who are popping those pimples, alliteration. This is not it, or this is how you want to go about it. This is what you want to avoid. You're trying to style your bathroom shelf. Use the, so there's different ways to use the different platforms, and I think you alluded to that as well. But even when it comes to how to then use these platforms, besides what Patricia talked about, which is like, this is the best place to try and to share and showcase your product, it's also a great place to educate people on how to use your product. It's a great place to try and build a sense of loyalty by taking them behind the scenes. This is what it took to knit the sweater that you are now wearing. It started on the 1st of January, and February 24th is when I was finished. And this is what, the process was like for me. And there's different ways to use these platforms so that you can build a community, sell, because I think ultimately that's what people also are trying to do, and create loyalty so that they're return customers as well.
And yes, we know that TikTok is not all about dancing. I think when I was trying first, like a couple of years ago, join it, that's what was heavy. I've gotten a lot of educational, content from TikTok with regards to mental health, with regards to skincare, with regards to or even cooking. So TikTok has evolved, and I think it's also worth it to sort of tap into these platforms every once in a while to see how they've evolved and how they tap in. And also, I think it's important to say you don't have to be on all the platforms. You can choose one and be successful. You can choose 3 and be successful. You can choose all and be successful, but it's really important to, one, just work with your strengths and what you are able, like what you have the capacity for, and then slowly expand.
Yeah. Yeah. So we delve into the people part. And actually, I'm going to ask you to start this part with this comment that came in.
I think when
And
Okay.
wait. On the how,
oh,
we hadn't delved
okay.
into the content, like how to create content, and
Okay.
create original content.
Oh yeah.
How do you, and how to showcase the content. So touching on, some pages just focus on the stock that they have, right? And then other pages will focus on lifestyle content, which is showcasing how to use the products or the items that they're selling. And so I had sort of wanted to show an example, those stock content, which is, this is what we have in stock, this is what we have. Then there's lifestyle content, this is how our products or items can fit into your life. And then BTS, there's some brands or companies that show you the BTS that goes, the behind the scenes that goes into the company. And so the example I had sort of used is scented candles. Treasured Scents sells scented candles. They're known for scented candles, right? A lot of us have known about Treasured Scents through Sharon Mundia, right? And then when you go to the page, you find, oh, they have scented candles, but they also have home fragrances, wallflowers,
Body butters,
body shower gel, all the home fragrance oils, and their page is just stock. This is what we have. So you go there and you're just like, oh, wow. In fact, there's more here. There's a candle. Naweza kununua hii mafuta. I can buy lotion. Oh, I can buy shower gel for my mom. So in comparison, there's The Hills, which is also a scented candle company, but their content is very lifestyle. They will sort of take pictures of the candles and how they look where they're sitting in the home. They'll show you BTS of how they pour the candles. That's behind the scenes. So but they're both, doing this. So they choose how they will create content, and it works for them either way, right? So some will then choose to have somebody like Sharon Mundia create the lifestyle or let you know how it feels to have the candles. So how they'll create content is work with Sharon Mundia to let us know about the product. So they will not try and focus on creating lifestyle content. They'll work with somebody who can, and I know this will now touch on people and partnerships, but then so the focus, so there's different ways in which you can create content. They will all work based on what your why is, right? So once you have your why, then you'll know. Yeah.
I think, sorry, you touched on something that was on the how, and I think it's also just important to mention, you can use different platforms for different things. Like if it's education, it's not that you're using Instagram and Pinterest and TikTok for education. It can be Pinterest is around styling, Instagram is around brand building and selling, and then TikTok is around engagement. So that there's also using different platforms, but in different ways to build the brand you want to.
Exactly. And that way you don't wear out your customers if they follow you along on these 3 different platforms and they're just like, it's the same thing on every platform. Everyone seems fresh. But building on to what you, the example,
Sorry. Sorry, in the how, and I think I just remembered when you talked about how different platforms can target different goals. Different pages can also utilize different methods of creating content in terms of either original content, which is stock content. You can have lifestyle content, but also user-generated content. So some pages, for instance, they will utilize either content that has been created by people that they have asked to create the content, or that they have found online that is similar to what they have. And so with permission or, whether it's client content or influencer content, but you'll have your page populated by user-generated content. So you don't have to create the content yourself. You can have people who've interacted with your products or what it is that you're selling to create the content for you and then have that on your page. So user-generated content is also another how.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I think we can move on to the people.
Yeah, yes.
People
Also,
part.
because I'm like looking
Yeah, all right.
time-wise.
Yeah.
Time-wise, yeah.
So people, and I, Patricia, maybe you could jump into this one. But one of the questions that we got was, what are some do's and don'ts when approaching influencers? And following that, I'm going to group the second one so you can answer both. How to deal with celebrities who don't want to pay cash. Who's not paying cash in these streets, asking you for your products, and it's like, I'm not going to pay you for this, thank you. But anyway, I thought it would be like, let's talk about the people and the partnerships, because I know, yeah, influencer partnerships is a big part of content creation for small businesses.
Right. So for people and partnerships, in talking to Sharon this afternoon, we established that there's two different kinds of people partnerships that you can establish as a business. There's the people who will market your business for you, including content creators, right? People with platforms. And then there's the team that you build. So whether it's, a team of photographer, videographer, social media manager, somebody who handles your sales, and that's internal. So there's different ways you can choose to do it by yourself, or you can hire a team, or even start with one person to help you out and then grow as you expand. So I'll let Sharon speak about the internal team. I will start on the partnerships on the outside, externally, whether it's content creators, whether it's other brands. And those partnerships exist and can start in different ways. We're talking about PR packages. You could have collaborations with content creators. You can have a brand ambassador. You can work with content creators who do market days. You can have affiliates who are content creators who will make a percentage of the sales. So you partner with them in that for however many products they sell, they make a percentage. And you can also partner with content creations, with content creators to do capsule collections, such as Sharon Mundia and Vivo, for instance. Yeah, munakumbuka Sharon alitengeneza nguo na Vivo. We also have Njugush and his family. They did spinners and spinners, their B-net collections. So there's different ways that those partnerships can happen. PR packages are, kind of like the first ways that we're introduced to brands. Yeah. For a lot of people, you'll get, Sharon does the PR unboxings really well. I also used to do them like a series on Instagram. I've kind of like...
I just opened one.
While, but PR packages are great. There is a budget that goes into it because you have to think about the stock that you're, give to a content creator for free. And the reason you do a PR package is because you want to utilize their platform. You want them to kind of showcase the product that you have to the platform that they have built. But PR packages are not like a guarantee that content is going to be created around it. And I think people... like there's ways to do it. There's expectations that are held that people don't speak about. And so PR packages, one, think about what do you have the capacity to give? Think about the capacity. How many, if you have stock of 100 candles and you want to sell them all, think, okay, if I give out 5, I'll be comfortable and I'll be able to then make those sales. Don't think, okay, let me think of 50 content creators to give candles, and then you end up not really making a profit because you only had 100 to sell, right? So think about and comfortably give out. Speak to the content creators that you want to approach, right? Ask them, do you accept PR packages? What are your terms? Don't send somebody something that you think they like. Ask them, would you like to take a look at my page and I'd like to give you one item, and be very clear, because you might say, hey, I want to send you a PR package, look at my page and select. And then they select 10 candles. Meanwhile, you had only budgeted 5 for 5 people. So be clear in your approach, and also be clear on the expectations. Then understand that for some things that you send, somebody might not necessarily post immediately. If it's a skincare product, for instance, if they've never used it before, it would be disingenuous to send a product to someone and then expect them to say, oh my God, these sheet masks are great. Let them use them first. and give you feedback. So it really depends on the kind of product that you have. Sharon, send her a candle. She will tell you the scents, the notes that she likes. Ask her, which notes do you like? We have this, this, and this. Watermelon with citrus and vanilla. We have coffee, cinnamon, and matumbo. And we have this third one that is fried egg with toast and banana bread. Then she'll say, oh my goodness, I love eggs, bread, banana bread. I want that candle. Send that to her. She will open.
Can I just add something to this, Patricia?
Yeah.
Because I've just seen a question. PR packages, there's no money exchanged. The whole point is that you're sending something to the content creator in the hope that they will talk about it.
Yes.
So there's no money exchanged. But money is exchanged when there is a contractual agreement. So those are the other things that Patricia mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So PR, there's no money exchange. You don't pay for somebody to receive a PR package, right? But think about how they will authentically speak about your product so that you don't send Sharon the candle that was citrus and matumbo and she hates matumbo, but you're still expecting her to say, oh my goodness, I love this candle. So have a conversation and be clear on what you have the capacity to give and be clear on what the expectations are, right? It's not a guarantee. And then don't say, I'm going to send you a piece of cloth and a pencil, but in exchange, I would like 5 posts, 3 YouTube videos, and you send me images. Also, like, manage your expectations around the content that you're expecting to receive, because content creators earn a living creating content. Collaborations.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to add, Sharon?
No. I wanted to jump in with just go on.
Okay.
But
Collaboration.
also babe time-wise.
But time, we have about, let's say 8-10 minutes.
Okay.
Can I jump in with a different, maybe, and then we can go to tools, because I do think that we have some really good gems in tools as well.
Okay. Yeah. So there's different ways in which you can make partnerships with content creators, which we listed, and all those things. Just start with a question. Hey, how are you? My name is so-and-so. This is my business. Do you work with small businesses? Start a conversation and ask the questions. There's no standard. I think for everything I was going to say, it would just start with a conversation where you ask as many questions as possible and see what's possible. Don't think, hey, Sharon Mundia is expensive. I could never work with her. Just ask. Say, this is who I am. This is where I'm at. Are you willing? How do you work with people? A conversation is all it.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to add very quickly, when it comes to people and partnerships outside of the content creation space, I think it would be really interesting for businesses to try and partner with other businesses, not in the exact direct competitors where, if you're selling mugs and ceramics, then you're trying to partner up with another brand in that same field. But perhaps look for someone in the knitwear space and find ways in which you can both pool into whatever emotions that you want to evoke in your customers. So it's like warm, cozy nights at home, and this is what you're trying to build. So try and be strategic and creative with those partnerships. And if you cannot handle social media on your own because it is a beast, then find people who can. And either you can bring them in-house and have someone dedicated to creating content, or you can try and outsource it and find an agency. And now there's like lots of agencies that are helping brands with this. Some that are even, small startups themselves, so their prices are going to work for whatever budgets that are out there. But I wanted us to jump into tools, because we also got questions like, how do you make a reel good look good? Or what kind of apps have you downloaded that help you with creating this content? What do you need in order to make things look sexy on here?
Number one, the internet. The internet is the best, freest tool that will give you all the information you need. If you want to search how to shoot great reel with Xiaomi, like whatever phone, you will find. Whatever question you have, the internet is your friend. Google or YouTube and you'll get a tutorial. If you need to Google how to create a marketing strategy for Instagram, you will find. if there are people on Instagram who are hosting lives where they're talking about growing your sales using social media,
No,
them, the internet.
Is your friend. To add to that, I think another tool that a lot of businesses, I think, well, not a lot, but I think a lot of times people, myself included, forget to check are your insights. And all these apps, a lot of them at least, give businesses these insights. Who's actually coming to your page? How old are they? What is their agenda? What time are they online? What kind of posts are they relating to most and interacting with the most? Use those and have that help you plan your content the next time. And going into content, there was one of the questions like, what do you do? What do you post when you have nothing to post? Lord knows, we've all had that moment where you're just like, my brain fried, have nothing for you. I think this is where it's important to have certain tools and apps that will allow you to plan. Well, first, don't take for granted that a content calendar matters, and it will take you a long way. And in that content calendar, you can even start looking for things like, is today World Pancake Day? I sell flour. I'm going to loop into like World Pancake Day, make the fluffiest pancakes with this. But certain apps that I know Patricia and I use regularly, and maybe you can jump in if there's something I've forgotten. Yeah. Canva, all those posts that you see, posters, yeah. Hey, look at us. We're trying to like advertise. Like, you probably used Canva for the banner. I don't know if you did. Maybe you had like internally you had like a team that did it. But Canva is great. Later is great if you want to schedule the posts and you don't want to be there actually pressing publish. It allows you to upload the picture, have the caption, put the hashtags, and it will release that post into the internet at the time that you specify. Film is really good for videos. That's film with FILMM. Lightroom, we all use Lightroom. Unfold is good if you're using stories and you want to make it look really good. Unfold. And another one that I use regularly is called Plan with double N at the end. And it just allows me to create like visual interest on my page. So I can just move things around and be like, today I can post a selfie. Tomorrow I'll post a picture of the ocean. And the next week, and the next after that, it'll be, me and Patricia at the Sendy offices or, whatever.
I'll add on to tools. A lot of people will ask around, what camera should I get? What tripod? Oh, lights, Start with what you have. If it's a phone, whatever phone that you have is probably good enough to take good enough pictures and good enough video. And you can then Google how to use that phone to maximize the content that you create, right? So the best tool is the tool that you have, okay? Use that. If you need lighting, if you can't afford to get ring lights and I don't know, strobe lighting, continuous lighting, softbox, start with a lamp in your house or go as close to a bulb as you can. Or shoot during the day when there's natural light and utilize the sunshine. Use the internet.
Or borrow from a friend too.
Or borrow from a friend.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then use the internet to learn how best to use what you have. And as you start to create content and create your strategy, I know you talked about a content plan. If you go onto Pinterest, you will find businesses that will give you, okay, you're looking for content for the month. Here, day 1.
Yeah.
Day 2, share your daily routine. Day 3, share a BTS. The internet honestly will give you all these things. And all the apps that Sharon talked about, there's some which you can find all of that in just one app. I know she mentioned Unfold. Unfold will give you filters, will give you stories, will give you animated stories, will give you link in bio. It'll give you everything that you need.
Everything. So can I tell you an app that I think also would help a lot of businesses? Sendy fulfillment. You want to take it away, Edna?
So, actually, I think because you've had the chance to experience it from a customer's perspective, right? Having the deliveries done through Sendy Fulfillment. So, what was your experience as a customer? Why would you tell businesses, to join fulfillment based on your experience. And then now I can come in and just highlight a bit more about it. Yeah.
Can I say the most obvious? And this is
Yeah,
assuming
of course.
that, businesses pass this advantage on, or this on to their customers, but it is incredibly affordable. It's ridiculous. And that's even the example I gave when I was on my stories. Sometimes you buy like earrings from, what's that place that we all buy earrings from? Like these like more costume jewelry type earrings. Beauty Galore. Yes. You'll see a set of earrings, 300 bob, delivery 250. You're like, geez, then I've spent 550 on earrings that were 300. With Sendy,
Earring, so that it's 2,000. So that
yeah.
Then
you end up buying more. But with Sendy, it's a fraction of that. To be honest, Edna, for a while I was like, I'm sure she meant 30%, 30, because how could it be? How could it be less than 40 bob for delivery? How? So I think that price is just such a great what is that? Encouragement, a great motivation
Yeah,
to try.
it's already a reason. Yeah.
Incentive.
Incentive is the
Incentive.
word.
I play word of
Yes, that's the word.
my word. But yes, I think the price is definitely something. I think that's, for me, it's the number one thing, either for a business or for a customer. And for some items, it's so negligible that you're able to actually say, if you were going to sell something at 250, you can sell it at 275 or 300 bob and say free delivery. Because it'll be absorbed in that cost. And then two, it's just the fact that the texts that sort of update you. Okay, whatever you've ordered is here. It's being prepared. And then, okay, your item has been dispatched, right? That, I think, just giving us the updates and being able to click on that link to see, okay, sawa, good. I know it's coming. I think that was for me, that was part of the experience, because sometimes you'll buy something from somebody you've purchased. The next thing it's, hello, sasa niko na kitu yako hapa, uko wapi?
Uko wapi exactly? Uko wapi? Uko ni wapi sasa?
Like, I think I shared my address, like I put it in there, but you're trying to just accommodate, because it's like maybe they don't have bundles, so they can't use maps. And then you start, okay, barabara ya nini, alafu, but maybe you were in a meeting,
Yeah.
So I think it's just those updates come and you they kind of just give them to you. You get them as it's live. Yeah.
All right. So I think maybe for everyone who may have joined late, Sendy fulfillment basically is what Sharon and Patricia were talking about. It allows businesses to pick, or rather, our service will pick, pack, and ship / deliver items to your customers. And you'd be able to spend more time, focusing on the sales, focusing on the content creation part, focusing on the strategies, to try and increase your sales online. So in terms of the price, we charge a fulfillment fee of 13%. That's 13. So like Sharon mentioned, if you're buying a product worth 1,000 bob, then your delivery fee is 130. And that's within Nairobi, and that's for specific categories. For electronics, the fulfillment fee is 9%. So if you're buying, let's say, earphones that are worth 1,000 shillings, again, delivery fee will be what? 90, 13% of 1,000. Oh, sorry, 9% of 1,000. Yeah, 90 bob. Sorry, guys, maths sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, the fee includes us, storing the items in our fulfillment center, delivering it to your customers. It's insured, so a lot of the times, in case you're worried that your product might not get there or something might happen, the products are insured, and we deliver them to the customers. So there is actually something that we wanted to share with you. This is the first of series that we want to keep having. So we're just educating businesses on how to grow their online business, how to run their online businesses. And this is also now going to be talking about, managing your logistics, managing your finances, figuring out how to make sure your customer experience is great. So there'll be more of these. And if you want to find out more about Sendy fulfillment, we will share a link right after this, and you can just sign up. One of our team members will get in touch with you, talk about fulfillment. Yeah. Oh, and if you have a business and you want to try us out, so sign up today. You get 100 free deliveries valid for 30 days. And that's going to be quite exciting. There are vendors or businesses that have been using us for a while now, and they've really enjoyed it. Is there anything, Sharon, you want to add? Patricia?
No, I think
Okay.
we've covered it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So thank you all so much once again for taking the time to, join the session. We know there are a lot of questions that you have asked, and we will keep answering those questions through our social media over the next couple of weeks. During the next live session as well, we will make sure we tackle some of the questions that you have asked. But if you know a business that you feel would benefit from this, please let them know about the next one. It'll be happening third week of March, I believe. More details to follow. Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. And
Thank you.
have a good
I think
evening.
Patricia fell off, or is it just on my end? Oh, there she is.
No, yeah, she did. She fell off.
Yeah.
Is she back?
She says, add me.
No. Hold on. Let me see. Accept. Okay, I've added her.
She's coming in to say goodbye.
You know what? Like, I was trying to scroll through the comments and then it just like minimized. But before we finish, I wanted to say, and a lot of people have asked this, the packaging. And this is something that also came up last year when we worked together. So Sendy also will have, your packaging taken into account. So they will package your items in the way that you package as a business. So whether it's your branded bags, your tissues and whatever, and then they will also add on the Sendy packaging just to make it secure. Am I correct, Edna?
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
You're right. So we'll still package the same way you want it back to the customers,
Yes.
but then we just add the packaging on top of that.
Yes. So I could see those questions in the comments, so I didn't want to finish before saying that.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you guys
Edna.
so much. Please feel free to share more questions. If you have any, we'll put a question box. The form also has a question box that you can just drop your questions, and we'll keep answering them as we go along over the next couple of weeks.
And you'll save the live, so people who missed it can watch it back.
And watch it. Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Perfect.
We definitely will. All right.
Perfect.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, guys.